Welcome back to the Deep Dive. We're here to take your source material, dig beneath the surface, and really pull out the knowledge you need fast and efficiently.
Yeah, get straight to the good stuff.
Exactly. And today, we're tackling something huge for English learners. I mean, it's probably the most frustrating challenge, right?
Oh, definitely. That jump.
Yeah, how do you stop sounding like you're, I don't know, reading from a dictionary?
Or like a robot, that textbook robot sound.
Yes, how do you make that leap to sounding confident, natural, genuinely fluent?
It's the goal, isn't it? You can know all the words, nail the grammar,
Hmm.
but then you step into a real fast conversation, and suddenly it feels like none of the rules apply anymore.
It sounds totally different from the practice dialogues, yeah.
Completely.
So the source material we've got today is fantastic. It's a guide to getting that smooth, natural flow, but without, drowning you in technical stuff.
Right, keeping it practical.
Our mission here is to pull out those concrete, actionable steps. What are the actual changes, both mechanical and maybe psychological?
Yeah, the mindset too.
What changes can actually improve your casual speaking style, like right away?
Well, maybe we should start by defining natural English based on what the sources say.
Good idea.
Because it's interesting. It's really not about having some huge, complex vocabulary.
Right. It's not about showing off how many words you know.
No, not at all. It's about sounding relaxed, sounding confident, and crucially, it's about the rhythm of the language, getting that flow.
Okay, rhythm. Let's show that immediately. The source material had this great contrast example.
Ah, yes. The perfect illustration.
It really highlights the difference between just knowing the rules and actually getting the natural flow. So listen to this contrast.
Okay, so first, the sort of grammatically perfect but kind of stiff way. I am going to visit my friend this afternoon.
Sounds very clear, very correct.
Correct, yes. But then, here's the way you'd actually hear it, every single day. I'm going to see my friend later today.
So different.
It really is, isn't it? And if you're not used to it, it can be jarring.
Yeah.
It's shorter, obviously faster.
Mm-hmm.
And that's because sounds are kind of merging, some are even dropping out.
Right.
And that change, that shift in pronunciation and rhythm, well, that's basically the whole game we're talking about.
Okay, so that's where we're focusing this deep dive then. Let's unpack it.
Let's do it.
So let's start with the core mechanics, the real nuts and bolts of it.
Good place to start.
We need to talk about the things that really dictate the speed and the sound, the rhythm of how native speakers actually talk.
Right, and the first two big ones, according to the sources, are contractions
Mm-hmm.
and this thing called connected speech. They're like the engine room for fluency.
Okay, engine room. I like that. Let's start with contractions.
Okay, so contractions,
Mhm.
honestly, they're non-negotiable for sounding natural.
Just got to use them.
You really do. Native speakers, especially when they're just talking casually, they almost never use the full forms. You just don't hear I am or we are or do not very often.
So you absolutely have to commit to using the short forms. It's not just obvious ones like I'm for I am,
Yeah, everyone gets that one.
but also ones that maybe learners forget, but that really speed things up, like can't, it's he's.
Oh, definitely. And then those helping verbs too, like weave or you'll, they make a huge difference to the rhythm.
So how should someone practice this?
Well, think about it this way. Instead of saying the full kind of clunky phrase, I cannot believe it, over and over,
Right.
start drilling the contraction. I can't believe it. Just practice that specific sound.
Get the muscle memory going.
Exactly. Get your mouth used to making that short, quick sound naturally. It tells the listener, hey, I'm comfortable with how this language actually moves.
Okay, that makes sense. Comfort with the speed.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of speed, let's get into the really deep stuff. Connected speech.
Ah, yes. This is where it gets interesting.
This is that thing where words look separate on paper, right? But
Yeah.
when you hear them, they just flow together. Sounds blend.
Mm-hmm. And this is often, I think, the biggest hurdle for learners mentally,
Why do you think that is?
because it feels like cheating. It feels like the language isn't following its own rules.
Aha, yeah, like, wait, you skipped a sound.
Exactly. But there's a mechanical reason. The sources talk about something called assimilation.
Assimilation. Okay, what's that?
It's basically when one sound changes to become more like the sound next to it. It just makes it easier for your mouth to make the transition between sounds smoothly.
Ah, okay. So it's about efficiency for the speaker.
Precisely. It's easier to say.
So that's the aha moment when the source points out that what are you doing often turns into what you doing.
Yeah, classic
It's
example.
not just random sloppiness. The
Right.
tuh sound at the end of what actually connects or bumps into the Y sound in you.
Right.
And that creates this new blended chus sound. Watcha.
Exactly right. Or think about want to go becoming wanna go.
Another classic. Wanna.
That little vowel sound into the sound, it practically disappears. And the end sound from want and the end just sort of merge together quickly with that go, wanna go.
And if you try to say want to go really clearly and slowly in a normal chat,
Yeah, you sound immediately kind of stiff or like you're halting. Learning to do that assimilation, to make those sounds blend, it's just crucial for sounding natural.
okay, but here's something I hear from learners. They worry. They think using whatcha or wanna sounds sloppy or maybe unprofessional.
That's a fair point.
How do you balance that? When is it okay and when isn't it?
That brings up register, right? The context matters.
Mm-hmm.
You probably wouldn't use wanna go
Hmm.
in a super formal boardroom presentation, right?
Probably not, no.
But mastering it lets you be comfortable and connect in all those other situations. Casual chats, social events, just everyday life.
Okay.
And the sources really emphasize this. For normal daily communication, talking to friends, family, running errands, these connected forms, they aren't sloppy. They're basically mandatory if you want to sound fluent and build rapport.
That's a really helpful distinction. So it's about knowing your audience and the situation.
Exactly. Use the right tool for the job.
Okay. So we've got the basic mechanics, contractions and connected speech, this idea of assimilation.
Right. The foundations of flow.
Now let's move on. Let's
Yeah.
talk about adding maybe some polish, some confidence, those more subtle things.
Yeah, the things that make your speech sound less like you memorized it and more authentic,
I-
more like you.
Okay, so what's first in adding that texture?
This brings us to conversational texture. And yeah, the first tool is using filler words, but strategically.
Fillers, like,
Well, yes, those are hesitation markers.
oh,
But we're also talking about other short words native speakers use.
okay.
We're not talking about just nervously filling every single silence.
Right, not overdoing it.
No.
Hmm.
Native speakers use these little verbal markers, these fillers, to actually sound more relaxed,
Mm-hmm.
to manage slight pauses while they think.
Hmm.
And this is important, sometimes to signal how their thoughts are flowing.
Okay, let's break that down. The sources mention specific ones. Well, actually, I mean, what are they doing?
Well, if we dig a bit deeper, we can see different functions. Some, like are mostly just hesitation buying your brain a split second.
Okay, brain buffering.
Yeah, exactly. But others are more like discourse markers. They signal structure,
How so?
like often introduces a slight contrast or a new angle. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
is often used to clarify something you just said or maybe make it stronger.
Ah, I see. So they have jobs to do in the conversation.
Right. Understanding that gives you more control over using them effectively, not just randomly.
Okay, that's a really useful insight. But here's a question I get a lot. What about like? People hear like all the time, especially from younger speakers, maybe. Is that okay for a learner to use? Or does it sound, I don't know, lazy?
That is such a common question. The source material seems to suggest focusing first on those functional fillers we just mentioned. Well, actually, because, well, IELTS is, extremely common in some groups and regions.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't always add that clear structural value in the same way. So for a learner, it's probably better to prioritize the fillers that help you organize your thoughts clearly.
Got it. Focus on function first.
Yeah. And the main rule still applies.
Yeah.
Use them naturally. Don't overdo it. Maybe 1 or 2 per sentence maximum. Otherwise, it does become distracting.
Right. Integration, not saturation.
Perfect way to put it.
Okay. So we've added these little conversational breaths with fillers. What's next for sounding more authentic?
Okay, the next step is probably the single most powerful resource you have. Listening. Real active listening.
Auditory learning. Makes sense.
You can study grammar books forever, right?
Mm-hmm.
But nothing beats actually listening to and then copying how people talk in real life.
So what's the advice there? Just turn on the TV.
Well, yes, but it needs to be active. The advice is definitely watch movies, listen to podcasts you like,
Okay.
or find YouTube channels on topics you're into. But here's the key action step. Don't just listen passively.
What then?
Pause. Repeat what you hear. And actively mimic the speaker. Try to copy them.
Mimic. Like try to sound exactly like them.
Not just the words. Focus on the other stuff, too.
Uh-huh.
The pitch, does their voice go up or down? The emotion, do they sound excited, bored, serious?
Ah, the music of the language.
Exactly.
Huh.
The stress patterns on words,
Uh.
the overall rhythm, for instance. Notice how someone might raise their pitch at the end of a question, or maybe speed up when they're adding a quick side comment.
So you're training your ear and your mouth at the same time.
Yes. To produce not just the right sounds, but the right feeling. That's where authenticity really comes from.
Okay, that's powerful. Mimicking the feeling, not just the sounds,
And this leads us straight into maybe the most important point, psychologically.
which is
Relax and just use your own style. Commit to sounding like you, but in English.
just feels like the most encouraging tip, honestly.
It really is.
Yeah.
Because confidence, just sounding comfortable, is always more attractive than chasing some kind of perfect, flawless pronunciation.
Right. Learners can really tie themselves in knots trying to sound exactly like a native speaker, which is almost impossible anyway.
Totally. And that tension makes you sound less natural, not more.
So the advice is...
You don't have to sound like you're from London or Los Angeles or anywhere specific.
Yeah.
What you do need to do is take those mechanical things we talked about, use contractions, connect your speech, get the flow, and then just breathe. Smile, maybe, and speak. Let go of that pressure for perfection.
Allow your own voice to come through.
Yes, your personality. That's what makes communication engaging.
Okay, but let me play devil's advocate for a second. Some learners might think, wait, the textbook English is clear. Isn't using all this slang, these connected sounds, isn't that risky? Won't I sound unprofessional or unclear sometimes?
That's the context question again.
Yeah.
And it's valid.
Yes.
It
Yeah.
really is about knowing your audience.
Yeah.
If you are in a very high-stakes, formal situation like a major presentation or a formal interview, then yes, stick closer to the clearer, more formal structures. But, and this is the crucial part, the vast majority of English communication, day-to-day, is casual.
True.
If you talk to a friend or a colleague using only stiff textbook formality, you actually create distance. You might sound cold or unnatural.
Ah, so there's a risk in being too formal as well.
Absolutely. The reward of sounding natural, comfortable, and relatable in those everyday situations. It usually far outweighs the risk of occasionally being slightly less formal than necessary.
That really helps frame it. It's about connection.
Connection and comfort, yeah.
Okay, great. So we've covered mechanics like contractions and connected speech, and the mindset stuff, fillers, listening, relaxing.
Yep, the core toolkit.
Now let's bring it all together. How does this apply in the real world, day to day? The source material gave some great simple phrases.
Yeah, the practice phrases. These are perfect examples of how people actually talk, simple, casual, friendly.
They show the rules in action, so let's go through them. We'll say them naturally, and you, the listener, should try saying them out loud right after us. Feel the flow.
Okay, ready?
Ready. Number 1, the classic greeting, using that connected sound we talked about. Hey, what's up?
Notice that what is becomes what's, and up often gets a slightly shorter vowel sound. Quick, what's up?
Nice. Okay, number 2, the easy reply, using 2 strong contractions.
I'm just chilling you.
There you go. I am is I'm. Chillin' becomes chillin'. Dropping that final G sound instantly makes it sound more relaxed. I'm just chillin' you.
Okay, number 3, when something's great, instead of that is very good, go with that's awesome.
Yep. Powerful contraction. That's said quickly with energy. That's awesome.
Number 4, reassuring someone. Keep it simple, friendly. No worries, it's all good.
Again, it becomes it's. That's basically automatic and casual speech. And the whole phrase just sounds so easygoing. No worries, it's all good.
And finally, number 5, the casual way to say goodbye. Catch you later.
You hear that little sha sound in. Catch you. That's another one of those mini assimilations, a quick blend. Catch you later.
Just mastering those 5 simple phrases really helps get you in the mindset that everyday English can be pretty simple and approachable.
Definitely. And speaking of approachable learning, we absolutely have to mention the digital world.
Oh yeah, huge resource.
Our sources really highlighted how short-form digital media can be incredibly effective for learning this natural style.
Right, we're talking TikTok, YouTube Shorts,
Yeah.
Instagram Reels.
But not just for watching cat videos, right?
Well, maybe some cat videos.
Yeah.
But using them as active learning tools
How does that work? Why are they so good for this?
because they're full of authentic, often unscripted conversation, people talking naturally.
Mhm.
And it's delivered in these short, often funny, easily digestible clips. You're hearing current casual language, how it's being used, like right now.
Real-time exposure.
Constant real-time exposure. And loads of native speakers actually use these platforms specifically to teach English nuances. Little grammar tips, pronunciation, slang, often in really entertaining ways.
So it doesn't feel like studying.
Exactly. The source called it the best free classroom on earth, which I thought was pretty spot on.
Wow,
I actually
yeah.
saw a clip just the other day teaching how did you go to often becomes did you go to.
Did you go to?
Yeah, I hear it.
And it just clicked. It showed how quickly sounds get squished together. It was a real eye-opener about how fast people can actually speak.
That kind of immediate, bite-sized example is so valuable.
Totally.
Oh, okay, so let's recap. We started with this big challenge, how to stop sounding like a textbook robot.
Yep, the mission.
And we found some really clear, actionable steps from the sources. Use contractions always. Learn connected speech and how sounds assimilate.
Get that flow.
Sprinkle in those strategic filler words naturally. Prioritize confidence and sounding comfortable over absolute perfection.
Let your own style come through.
And use everyday media, those short videos, for active listening and mimicking.
That constant input.
The big takeaway really seems to be learning to sound natural in English doesn't have to be this massive, scary struggle.
Yeah, no, it's achievable. It's more about listening carefully, repeating what you hear, practicing these specific techniques, and actually trying to enjoy the process of finding your own voice in English.
Well said.
Yeah.
And maybe, as a final thought for you, the listener, to take away and play with.
Okay.
We talked a lot about how connected speech turns wanna go into wanna go, right? How sounds get condensed.
Right. Squished together.
So now that you're aware of this constant process of condensation happening in fast speech, start paying super close attention when you're listening to English media today.
Okay. Listen for what?
Actively listen for how native speakers squish together other really common rapid-fire phrases. Like, what happens to, did you eat?
Did you eat? Yeah, how does that sound?
Or how about, tell them to stop? Think about those little function words, you, them, to. What happens to their sounds in fast speech?
Ah, okay. Listen for the mergers, the drop sounds, and those quick little phrases.
Exactly. Listen closely for how those sounds merge and change. You'll start noticing those little secrets of natural flow everywhere once you start listening for them.
That's a great challenge. Keep those ears open. Start experimenting with these techniques today. You really are equipped now with the tools to sound less like a textbook.
And more like yourself.
Exactly. More like yourself. That's it for this deep dive. We really hope you feel more confident and ready to speak naturally.
Yeah, get out there and chat.
Catch you next time.